Fall is just around the corner and I am so excited. It's my favorite season and I am just ready for it. So I've made a few fall projects to share with you guys, and today the one I'm going to show you how to make is this cute fall leaf lantern. This is a really cute and fun thing to have on just like a cozy fall night when things are a little bit chilly and you want a little bit of a warm feel. This is perfect for that. So all you need in order to make these cute lanterns is you will need a 12 by 12 inch piece of cardstock, a sheet of vellum paper, some glue. I'm just using Elmer's glue, but you could also use like tacky glue or something else if you wanted, and a small LED tea light. So this one's just battery operated. I can just turn it on and off. The pattern is listed on my website. I have that linked in the description, so you can go grab it there. Something else that you need in order to make these is a way to cut them out. I use a Cricut cut machine. If you're cutting this out with a Cricut, you will also need a scoring wheel as well as the fine point blade. I'm going to get into Cricut Design Space and show you how to make this using a Cricut. So once you have the image in Cricut Design Space, you will see that over here in the layers panel, you've got everything listed as cut. All these ones that are shapes, you'll want to leave as cut. All these ones that are lines, we want to change those to score. Okay, so you're going to select these and then you're going to come up here and you're going to click on score. And you're going to do that for each one of the lines. Okay, and you will see that that visually changed the way these looked. They used to be solid lines and now they're dashed, and that is showing me that it is a score line. Now that you've got those lines converted, in order to cut everything out, you're going to have to come in here and ungroup stuff. So I'm going to come into this one and then I'm going to click on ungroup, and I'm going to do that with this one too. Then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to select all of these ones that are part of that, and then I'm going to attach them, and then I'm going to do the same thing for these ones down here. Just select all of them and then click attach. That'll keep your score lines on the template. Now that that prep work is done, we're ready to make it. So go ahead and click make it. So it's gonna have us do the vellum paper first. I'm gonna take the protective sheet off my mat and put my vellum on the mat. Now I'm gonna click continue. It's gonna find my maker by Bluetooth. And after that, I'm gonna come up to the materials, browse all materials, and we wanna look for vellum. And once you find vellum, you can click on it, done. And then we can go load it into the machine and it'll cut it out. And now that that has been cut out, it looks like my machine kind of snagged my material right here. But since that's on an edge, that's not really gonna matter. I think that's probably just because my mat's a little bit dirty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and peel it off the vellum from the mat. So you wanna flip it upside down and peel the mat away from the vellum, because this will prevent, doing it this way will prevent curling in your vellum, which you definitely don't want if you're trying to make a nice lantern. So just peel this back. Okay, and now you see, I can pull this away, maybe if that one's not too stuck. Okay, and now I have four vellum rectangles. So I'm gonna set those to the side and I'm gonna finish cutting out the cardstock. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same thing with the cardstock here. I'm gonna put it onto the mat, just like this. Push it down, make sure it's nice and stuck to the mat. And then I'm gonna load it into the cut machine and let the Cricut do its job. Now that I've got the vellum cut, I'm gonna come back into Cricut Design Space and I'm gonna change my material from vellum to cardstock. And I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna search for cardstock. Okay, now since this lantern has so many little details, I'm going to use the cardstock for intricate cuts. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I think it produces a little bit of a nicer look, but it does take twice as long, so beware of that. So I'm going to click on cardstock for intricate cuts and done. And you'll notice that it's prompting me to load in my scoring wheel, so I'm going to go ahead and do that because it has to be scored before it can be cut. Now that the cut machine has cut it all out, we just need to take it off the mat. So we're just gonna flip it over again, just like we did with the vellum. And then we're gonna peel the cardstock away from the mat, or rather the mat away from the cardstock, so that it doesn't curl on us. Okay, when you're peeling up the lantern part, you're gonna wanna be very, very gentle with it, because it does have some delicate pieces that can tear, so you have to be very gentle with it. Just take it nice and slow, there's no need to rush. Okay, and you can set your mat to the side and I'll clean mine off in a little bit. So this is what you should have after cutting out. You should have 4 pieces of vellum, you should have your lantern piece, and then your top of your lantern. So what we're gonna do now is we are gonna go ahead and on all these score lines, we're gonna crease all these fold lines a little bit tighter. So you want them creased, you don't need them to sit flat, but you do want to crease them a bit. Now I'm going to take each of my 4 pieces of vellum and I am going to glue them to the back side of the lantern just like this. So like I said before, I'm just using Elmer's glue. You can use whatever kind of glue you want to use, whatever crafting glue you want. And I like to put a little bit on each leaf to kind of help hold it on a little bit tighter. And then just go around the edges. And if you're using a glue stick, you'll want to be pretty quick about it as the glue stick kind of tends to dry fast. And just make sure it sits nice and flat. Now that you've got all of your panels glued on, you're going to fold this up into a little bit of a box. And this little tab piece here, you're just gonna put glue on that. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the glue on it. And then go ahead and close it up to match that corner. And hold it here for a second so that the glue has time to dry for just a minute before you put it down so that it doesn't just come undone. So now you've got your box of your lantern ready. Now you need to make the lid. So set your lantern piece off to the side and then grab the lantern top, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the lantern piece. You're gonna just crease all of these score lines. All right, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna take our glue, and on the tab piece here, we're gonna just glue that. And then attach it onto this other piece here. And then just hold that for a second too so that the glue has a second to dry while it's being held firm. That's it, and the lantern is ready to be used. So now you can put an LED inside of it and put your lid on top and enjoy your new lantern. So I think these are really fun to just like have around the living room. I also think they're really fun to have around the bathtub for when you're having like a nice relaxing bath, especially on a chilly fall night. I think there's lots of different ways that you can display these and use these. That's all there is to it for this project. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.